Heroic need an opponent in the semi-finals, and Astralis have already got one step closer. Navi's map Mirage goes the way of the Danes, and now we stand heading into a rather explosive crescendo. Nuke will be our map. Will it be the last? Can only be answered by Navi and by our analysts as well. Joined by Yanko and Chad Birchill. What are we saying here, gentlemen? We're going into, I don't want to say unknown territory, but it's much lesser known than that of the other maps. Newest addition to the map pool, albeit forgetting about Inferno. What do you make of this one, Yanko? We're going into Nuke, and Astralis have been a bit of in limbo on this one.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Astralis on this map is that we saw that they can play it, and they lost it 3 times on LAN with this lineup. 2 times it's to VP, right? Probably one of the best teams in the world, if not the best Nuke team in the world. So it's kind of skewed. They won against weaker opposition, the likes of Complexity, Optic, right? But Astralis in general just has proven to be a very regimented team, no matter the map. Chad mentioned that Navi seemed like they're warming up to this game, but there's probably not a better side you'd like to start on in CS if you're warmed up than CT side of Nuke. So that might be a chance for them to get rolling early, get some momentum, and take this to a 3rd map.
As cliche as it is, we're going to talk about the pistol rounds. Astralis have had a lot of success in pistol rounds this tournament. They've won 9 and lost 3. So if they can continue that start, Nuke is a map where it's more important than others, statistically speaking, to win the pistol round. So that's something that's in Astralis' favor going into this one. And I agree with Yanko in the sense of it's something that Astralis have struggled on, and if they haven't addressed the problems that we saw against VP in DreamHack Las Vegas, they might be in for a rough time even, because StarX could have taken the time to look at the demo, looked at the way that they addressed that, and exploit the same flaws that VP found.
Do you believe we are still in the position where CT side holds a large, overbearing lead over the Ts in terms of round advantage?
I think it's very, very economy dependent, right? I still think it's a CT-sided map, but we can still see strong T-sided halves from teams who are first practiced. But in order for that to happen, they need to have, either to win the pistol round, have a 3-0 start, or to reset the economy of the CTs early. If the CTs have the control of the economy, they can buy those incendiaries to stop the fast pushes. If they have the smokes, if they have the ops and all of that stuff, then it's extremely difficult for the Ts to win rounds. But how you win rounds is you win a round by putting some pressure towards yard. That further on in the half forces the rotations from the CTs, which you can later exploit, like we saw in the last round of the VP Heroic game. That was probably the best example of how you can win rounds on the T side.
Chad, T-side rounds coming the way of Astralis on this half, or do you think Navi are taking us into a 3rd? I'll let you explain your thought process.
I think Astralis are probably too structured, to not have enough strategies to push the CT side of Navi. They need to make them flustered and get on top of the economy, like Yanko said. I think this is a really good map, though, for players like Flamey and Edward, who can kind of be turrets and sit there and hit up those multi-frags. But for me, it's going to be all on the pistol round. If Astralis go off to another flying start, they're going to be able to run away with this one. I want to say Navi so we can get the 3rd map here, but I think logic is telling me to lean towards Astralis.
I think that was the big issue. Flamey, who has been Navi's best player throughout the tournament, only had 9 kills on Mirage, right? I think that Navi is probably a bit frustrated because of how the first map went, and how VP crushed Astralis in Las Vegas was that they were super aggressive on the CT side, not just as a team, but also individually, taking fights, Pasha pushing ramp, Neo aggressive towards yard with snacks, and all that kind of jazz. I think that Navi has to replicate that, because if they stand back and let Astralis take map control, take control of Secret, I think that's where rounds start falling apart from them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And so the quick summary is, Astralis, will they really start off Nuke with another pistol round, their 10th pistol round win here in Katowice? Or will we see Navi go aggressive, bring the fight to the Danes and take us into a 3rd? Let's find out, though, as we are about to dive once again into the fray. It's a 2nd map of our 2nd quarterfinal, and Navi are battling for survival. Let's go in with your casters, Pansy and Moses.
First map sits with Astralis. Navi have so much to do now, and they have a tough task ahead of them. Nuke is no laughing matter when it comes to Astralis. And something to highlight, their T-sides have been decent on this as well. Known for some of the other maps where they can achieve it, this is one of them as well.
Yeah, a scary part as well is, this is not a great map for Navi, but also if you look at, this Astralis team in Vegas, and even at the Major to a certain degree, they haven't really been that great on pistol rounds. We just heard the analysis talk about it in this event. They've shored those up. They're winning their pistols. So now, I mean, you have no chance of at least getting out on a decent lead. You have a lesser chance to get on a big lead and kind of be able to grind out this map. Astralis just has so many tools they can use. How do you battle Xyp9x? The impact he has, I mean, the clutch rounds that he wins, the 1vx situations, but also the rounds that Astralis won on Mirage, he had over 140 ADR in those rounds. Thank you to HLTV for that.
Nice.
Just, you know, gotta give him...
Just gotta give him the credit on that one. Fair play. But no, there's a lot to be seen, and I think a lot of people have kind of added the almost precursor to this matchup that for Na'Vi to do well here, you need massive individuals to step up as well. Yep. There's got to be more than just Edward. There's got to be more than just Simple and Guardian and all these. Everyone has to have big performances. This is what we're looking for.
And also, I mean, if you look at how this map plays out, I mean, if you're a Ganopper, you'd like to find some success outside, but there's so many smokes. I mean, teams now set up these walls of smokes to cross down towards Secret to get down those stairs. I mean, there's a lot of ways that Guardian can be neutralized if that's where he's going to bring the AWP. So yeah, I mean, they need Flamey to be in this match. They need Simple to be in this match. They need those stars to overcome this kind of a weaker map that they're playing on.
That's just beautiful to witness. Just beautiful. There is
it explains a lot, doesn't it?
And the thing is, if Astralis are in a good mood, it's something that mentally, they've been talking about how they mentally prepare for these games as well. This is something, if they're in a good mood, they're feeling relaxed, they're feeling calm. This is a big stage, this is a big arena, and it's loud, and it's not cheering your name. If they're sitting there relaxed, calm, that's a good sign for them. They're coming into a map they know they have an edge on. So, we are now seconds away from this one getting started in. Na'Vi backs to the wall now. They need to bring out everything. This has to be their stand. They're starting on the CT side. Astralis on the T side, on the verge of getting to those semi-finals. They know it, and they're going to play to it.
Yeah, this time all armored up for Na'Vi. Geared up to win fights and nothing else. Guardian outside, he's been spotted by Kierby, and now he's got to try and get away. There's a lot of aggression coming his way, but it's going to be a split. They drop down, there's Guardian. Huge find, can't get anything more, and it's dupreeh and Glaive, and dupreeh again. And that upper bomb site is just exposed. Na'Vi gets wiped off the map. This is a bad start for Na'Vi.
Absolutely ravaged, and you know how tricky that CT side can be without that full utility, without everything you need to slow down this T side. And Astralis have a dominant hit towards upper, but Flamey connects a beautiful shot, but he's on 2 HP. He has no kit, and he's now being flanked upon as well. You've got Device working around the back, but it's not even him who needs to do it. Xyp9x will get the closer, and Astralis get the first.
Two very, very fast-paced T-side pistol rounds in this series for Astralis, back on Mirage as well, just splitting into the bomb sites. And I mean, that time, you think maybe there's a chance. When Glocks are coming in a connector like that quickly into a round, you get a little bit worried. You can just kind of see it collapsing. It's hard to hold back. So when Guardian gets that 1 kill, there's a little bit of hope. But I mean, dupreeh just having a stellar round there. 2 kills for him to really open up that A bomb site, or that upper bomb site.
See if Guardian can maybe find a couple of tags here. Would be nice. Yeah, Glaive gets tagged, but an instant reply. There's never any freedom given, it feels. But Edward's found an angle to work with. Kierby's going to have to back away and be a little bit more cautious with the bomb as well. Maybe help out towards a couple of players. But Device is just going straight down towards Secret. Seized is there with the angle. Nicely played from him, expecting maybe that sort of play, a bit of aggression, a little bit of something. But if you look at what's left, Glaive, 31 HP, he got the tag initially. Xyp9x and Kierby, though, still in a good spot here.
Yeah, some of these angles can be very, very nice to pistol buy-ups as well on Nuke, and Flamey with the deagle. That could be dangerous, but he's actually going to go away from their attack.
This is why C's has a rifle and he's sitting in ramp, and I think he's just been spotted out, so he can back away, but the information now comes flowing through. But oh my word, that first shot was lovely, but nothing more to be seen from him. But Flamey picks up the mantle where his teammate left off. But it's a 2v2, and they are both now low for Astralis. Kierby, 14 HP, Glaive, 31. Flamey still has the deagle, Simple as the P250, and they've got to find their options.
Yeah, they have no positioning, though. They have lost map control, and they've lost the plot in this round. Astralis outmaneuvers them again the map, but Armor and an AK-47 onto Simple. 1-on-2 clutch. This would be huge. This is where you want the star player to bring you back into this match. There's the first kill. He's got to find the second, though.
And he's up for it as well, but it's a gamble, it's a guess, it's a risk, and Glaive needs to play it perfectly as well. Timing certainly of the essence, and Simple's not making this subtle. He is making noise. He's going to have to make this quick as well. And he's desperate for something, a pixel out of place, anything, and Glaive is giving him nothing. Simple, you're running out of time, and your options are slipping away as well.
Oh, so smartly played from Glaive. I don't think Simple has a chance in this round. It's got to be now, and Glaive knows likely there's no kit, so he delays it even longer. Simple has just been outplayed here. Never once did he consider this until it was too late. Brilliant round from Glaive. Wins with his mind, as an in-game leader does. And Na'Vi, again, I mean, much like Mirage, on those 2 eco rounds they had, so close, yet just can't get the victory.
A beautiful mind play there. Absolutely love that. And considering how pressured that whole round was, how everything was contested constantly, you got a feel for it. But we still have that kind of, I guess, superhero weapon in hand to Simple. He was able to keep hold of that, so maybe going to find a use for it, maybe be able to do something. But the problem is everyone else is so desperately low on money. And Astralis, they're not going to let off on this. If anything, they're going to just hammer it home even harder. We'll see what they go for here. Is it going to be that quick upper hit? It is. This is something we've seen from them before. Maybe Simple going to position for it, but no. Zimnik's already out. Dupree is the one to kick it off, though. Simple goes down. Flamey, the only one to answer. And this hit does not stop. It's relentless. Finally, Seized and Edward are there, but is it too little too late?
Seized is now alone in the upper bomb site. He's got to try and make a play, but he's surrounded at the moment, and he can do nothing. AK is on the board for the Na'Vi players. Might not be a bad idea to try and save it. There's the AK brought out. C's going to try and win this anyways. No chance, I don't think, of them winning the round. So yeah, try and get this kill. Try and establish yourself an exit route, and they can't do it. KRB just manning down in lobby, and Edward, all that's left for him is to hold on to this rifle into the next round.
They need it as well. Anything additional for Na'Vi is so required in this. You need to get a hold of that economy as soon as you can.
Yeah, I mean, that was the big thing on their CT side of Mirage. They did win that 4th round, if you remember, but they just didn't have the money to back it up to string them together, so...
Oh, God.
They're going to go right at him.
Edward, he needs to be careful here. He needs this, and there we go. It goes down as well. KRB going to find him, and that is problematic. But still a buy, nevertheless, for Na'Vi. They are fine. But just look, no mollies, limited on possibly a kit as well, if they even get one on the board. So... tough times ahead for Na'Vi. They have to just simply outdo them on this. Simple is going to opt for the one kit that they have.
Yeah, no nades in order to be able to buy that kit. So Simple with the team play here. What is Astralis going to open up Device heading outside alone at the, and this looks like it's going to be a little bit faster. Again, pressuring this flashbang from Device blinds Guardian, so Dupree has the angle, but now he's gotten it back. Smoke's flashes come out. Simple wants to help out, but there's no real pressure coming quite yet.
No, a deep smoke, though, keeps them guessing. They don't know if maybe they're considering going down towards the vents, but Flamey with a lovely connection. Good tag towards KRB, and now the backup has arrived, and none better than Guardian. He does find one, but he slows him down. He buys some time, and Flamey fancies another go at it, but Astralis are backing away.
Yeah, they've got Glaive in position. He's not watching for any kind of a push, but they've got him at least here controlling this area of the map. So they want to readdress and figure out a new way to attack. Some rotations. Simple is going to be the man who needs to be up to the task. A lot of utility, though. I mean, Molotovs, there's a flashbang as well, so this could get a little bit dicey. Simple in the rafters.
He's got to pick his poison at this point. Astralis as well, trying to negate as many angles as possible. Try and isolate a player. Try and find something to pull him back into this game. Bearing in mind, or at least round, let's say, Glaive is on the UMP, but it doesn't matter. Device will find one. Seized. Here's Device. That's the bomb, but it doesn't matter. Device fights his way out of it. Seized is going to be livid about that one, but now it's down to Flamey and Edward, and oh my word, Flamey feeds himself in towards Dupree, and with 35 seconds left, the bomb is going down. Device truly at the helm of this round, and Glaive with a knife to the back almost there if he wanted it, but Glaive will get the AK, and Astralis will get 4 and stabilize themselves into this game.
And that's where the stress builds up, because you felt like Na'Vi had so many advantages in that round, in the mid-round, to be able to win that one out. And I mean, the tables have turned as well when Astralis, their reputation of dropping matches of the choking, when that was occurring, it's very similar fights as what we just saw Na'Vi lose, where nothing's going wrong, where they have the advantage and they just can't find the kills. Interesting round, though, here from Na'Vi, a nade stack, 5 purchased up. Gonna see if they can find any success here. Here come the nades. It's deep, and Glaive gets by all of them. Only takes a little bit of damage. There's one. He's got to hold the push, but he can't. Dupree does trade off Edward inside. And now they have all the positioning. So when Na'Vi tries to rotate back, they're just caught off guard, and it's a slaughter.
Yeah, Dupree lining him up, knocking him down, having a great time of it. And there's no armor on Guardian, but Simple does have armor, so maybe if they can feed this back, there could be something achieved. But again, you're clutching at straws to this point. So bomb now down, Guardian toying with Dupree, but Dupree has armor and Guardian doesn't. It's time to consider your losses and cut them, maybe.
Yeah, definitely hold on to that AK-47. The rifles, I mean, the rifle why they had the last time, there was no real amount of utility behind it. So Guardian, he's just in a tough spot. I don't know if he'll be able to. And Astralis has the economy to be able to chase after this one. They're not at a risk of losing too much. There's Dupree, the jump, and he can do nothing in there. But Guardian's position is given away, and Simple is waiting, seeing if he can punish anyone.
Nothing to be found there for Simple. And, well, Kievi's found Guardian, and Device will crush the remainders of Na'Vi. This is clean so far from Astralis. This is the T side that we see happening when they get rolling, when they get that early win, when they get that pistol, which seems to be a new factor for them as well. But finally we see the answer. Finally, there might be the stopping point here. This should be the round, if there's ever going to be one, that Na'Vi can make a stand. They have everything they want. Guardian on the AWP, they have the mollies, they have everything to slow down Astralis. Na'Vi need everything here.
Yeah, it's got to start here. The AWP is out. It's going to be heading towards outside. Nade to blow open the door quickly. Guardian not able to take a shot, and actually Device finds him over the smoke. It looked like Guardian saw it at the last second. They just couldn't figure out if he wanted to... look at the position for Dupree. That's so nice, that smoke there. And obviously, he gets down to vents and he just pauses and waits in case anyone from Na'Vi tries to chase him down. But what a powerful position to be in. This lower defense, this rotation from Z's, I don't think he expects it whatsoever. So scary times for Na'Vi.
Scary might be underplaying this. Terrifying might be the word. Zipnix to find Edward there. Gonna make it even worse. Seized and Flamey is so out of spot here. Seized down below. Flamey just up by Hell. I get this. This is so rough to play out of. Astralis just seems so in control here.
Yeah, and this is what happens. This is why, you know, you can see this map is not a strong one for Na'Vi. They lose control. They lose kind of the idea of where Astralis players can be. KRB flanking around up through heaven just gets a free kill. That causes distraction and mayhem, and another one comes out for the player in lobby. So just very tough. Na'Vi getting pulled in so many different directions. They're not sure which one they need to be paying attention to. And these kills are no longer any kind of consolation prize. It's not enough.
I have a feeling we might be saying that a little too much this game at this point. Not enough. Na'Vi, not enough utility, not enough weaponry, not enough money. And by the end of it, not enough rounds. 5-0 is the current scoreline. 6 to be there pretty soon. And the pause has been called for the next round to discuss, to try and theorize, to try and come up with something, an answer for what Astralis are bringing. But there we go, and they both lose the weapons as well.
Yeah, that's rough. That's insult to injury. So Bomb takes out the 2 weapons that Na'Vi's trying to save. 6-0 for Astralis. And I mean, outside of that, there was one round that it really looked like Na'Vi had the chance in, where they had the advantage. Outside of that, it's just been a wash. It's just been a complete wipeout for Astralis. They are in complete control of this match, and that's why we're seeing this pause come out. So hopefully StarX has some kind of an idea of how to get Na'Vi back on track.
You've got to hope. Let's be honest and recap a little about Astralis and Nuke. It's not flawless for them. They had that result not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. It was against Virtus Pro. So, you know, they have been shown that there are weaknesses, there are ways to break them on this. It has been good excluding that. You know, it depends how much you want to read into it. The last time they faced off against Na'Vi, it was 16-4. That was, it was online, so you take it with a pinch of salt. They've beaten Fnatic on this. They've beaten VP twice on this. But the recent one against VP will stick in mind. That 16-3 is a very, very strong scoreline. So I don't know what I'd do if I was Na'Vi in this one. You've got to come up with something. You've got to come up with it fast. And a UMP purchase, no utility.
Yeah, I think maybe trying to just catch Astralis off guard. They're also not fully invested, so it can be a pretty dangerous buy without committing too much, but that's a bad sign. Guardian down already, so, I mean, he only had a pistol, so still Astralis hasn't seen these UMPs, doesn't know it's coming, and it's going to be a lobby crunch. They're getting aggressive, they're trying to take the fight. Astralis is waiting for it.
It's a massacre.
No damage even dealt to Astralis that round from Na'Vi, so it doesn't pay off, but still they can buy up. That's the investment, that's why there's just so many UMPs. Guardian only on a Deagle to be able to save up for this op. But here's the thing, they have to be able to control outside. So many times analysts have talked about how important outside control is on this map, and if you're only gonna have Guardian out here and he gets picked off, that's where it gets so difficult, because Astralis can be lower, they can wrap around towards heaven, and it just seems like Na'Vi doesn't have an idea of how to rotate to kind of fill that gap in the defense.
And it's all Astralis setting the pace. They quicken, they slower, they do what they want. Look at KRB, so fluid, so confident to get towards the outside area. He's got the drop on this, only seized it out here. Guardian's over by ramp. This is huge amounts of freedom the KRB's just about been able to find. Sees has no clue as well about this, and I can imagine Astralis is just going to let KRB do as much as he wants. Even Device makes it worse, finding seized. And Astralis taking strides now towards getting such a clean half here.
This is about to be the round. There's one kill for KRB. The assassination comes in. Now Simple's left all alone. He's got to try and make a play. It looks like he's doing it. 2 kills. Can he get the third? Device holding the angle. Simple knows that he tries to jump over, but it's not possible. Just too much to do for him, but he has given the rest of his teammates some hope to make this work in a 2-on-3. No kits, but Guardian with the op has found one.
He needs his support. He needs Flamey to get there, and Flamey's taking so long to come around and do anything to assist this. Both the players are still on the side. One up, he's seen him. He's seen the gun. He's seen just enough, but he can't find a pixel. He needed Flamey to help him out. Guardian, though, still going to do what he can, but it's not enough, especially when it's Zipnix left standing. This man will not be moved.
Yeah, just such a smart angle from Zipnix to punish Guardian. And this, you can see, Simple, he's just making this kind of a crazy play because he knows he's about to get wrapped from heaven, and the desperation jump out of him doesn't pay off. Na'Vi getting blanked so far on Nuke, 8-0.
For Astralis, this is a quarterfinal of what dreams are made of. You got the 8-0 now. You're up in the first map too. You've come into this one, and the key fact is those kind of win conditions that you preset for Na'Vi just are not there yet. They've never got going, and when they have, they've been completely and utterly destroyed. So Astralis right now leading everything. Guardian looking for something outside. Eagles upgraded. pistols, you got a UMP, bit of armor. They're still trying to fight something. You have to if you're Na'Vi. You're 8-0 down.
Yeah, but it's tough. I mean, aggression hasn't really worked. These solo players, this is why I'm saying, even if you put Seized out there and you kind of try and cleverly hide them in the warehouse, it's just, you need more bodies there because Astralis is just abusing the fact that with 2 players, they can take control. And that's a nice shot from Device, knowing the angle, brilliant flick down, Glaive with 1 more, and you can just see it's like a waterfall. As soon as 1 kill, or like a dam breaking, as soon as 1 kill comes out for Astralis, another one immediately follows after that, just abusing all these players with knowledge of where the rotations are going to come in, where's going to be the next spot of weakness for this Na'Vi defense.
They might just find more. Glaive there, looking towards the vents. And did he spot more? I'm not too sure. I think he's just worried about their someone going around the other side as well. So he just falls back. He's just buying time. He's drawing them around the map. It's just a bit of chase there between the 2 of them, and Edward's being hunted down from the other side as well. This is horrible to watch. This is just brutality at this point.
Yeah, he lured him in to make sure there's no chance of them saving or even really getting a kill. So again, just such smart play from Glaive. Even though he has an advantage in terms of weaponry, why even take that fight? Just continue to fall back, put Na'Vi in awkward situations. It's also got to be frustrating as a player if you're Na'Vi down 0-9 and Glaive just continually running away and you just can't find it. So again, another buy out of Na'Vi, but what do they change up? And I mean, the big thing as well is with some of these UMPs, with some of these upgraded pistols they're doing in these rounds, even though they have the full losing bonus, you know, when you buy that, you're missing the Molotovs. You have 4 kits in this round, you have a good amount of smokes, but you're missing some nades that could help you out. That'll be a benefit. Dupree this time messes up the smoke a little bit. Not a huge deal, though.
No sneaking down to vents this time for him. Last time he just kind of, snuck on down there, had a good time.
Had sick positioning, and he wasn't even the one to make the action happen.
How ridiculous is that? If you've got so many things that are going right for you, it's like, well, I'm in this crazy spot, but the rest of my team's doing just fine. It's Astralis with everything going their way at the moment, it feels like. But this is a bit more of a stability here. If you look into Astralis as well on their T side, if you look at the opportunities and how many rounds they win after getting that first pick, specifically on their T side, it is an incredibly high margin.
Look at how much slower this outside take is from Astralis, not even committing to it whatsoever as they have been pretty much every other round. So it looks like, I mean, with the angle the Device is holding there, it looks like Astralis is expecting some kind of a switch up from Na'Vi to put more bodies outside, but it's not coming.
And there's the response. Get down towards ramp. Here comes the flood. Flamey, though, going to try and keep himself alight here and back away towards that lower site. He's got support. He's got Guardian coming around. C's now careful of maybe a flank, but the bomb is put down towards ramp. So still, there's a lot of play here for Na'Vi. They could finally stop the rot.
You'd hope so. Device, though, is up next. Working his way with the AWP. Tough angles for him here, but there's Zipnix with 1. Who else but to bail Astralis out of a tough spot except for Zipnix? KRB gets another Seized, though. He stops the bleeding. It's a 2-on-3, though, a chance here. And the big thing is Astralis is, once again, I've said it so many times, outmaneuvered Na'Vi. They're going to get a plant. They're going to have good positioning to stop this as well, although Guardian sneaks in with the ult. Device, he knows one's coming. He sees the gun barrel. He picks him off. Is he going to expect the second? He's got to know Seized is coming. Smoke is going to be down. That might not help him so much.
The theory was good, but Guardian is better. The defuse going to come out, and finally Na'Vi stemmed the bleed. It felt like a lifetime in the making, but it worked out. Staying alive at the start, good control towards ramp, good play from Guardian coming through, and it finally hinders the approach.
You have what, a 5-on-3, and you end up losing 3 players in the end. So I mean, they just go. It falls right back onto the money situation for Na'Vi, where yeah, they're going to buy up, and yeah, they'll have the op on Guardian. They'll have what they need in this round. But following it up, I mean, that's where it gets dangerous. They have to string these rounds together. There's no other option. If they don't, they just flat out lose. They'll be back onto a save. They'll lose too many rounds.
And how are Astralis going to approach it now? They've been reminded, all right, we do bleed real blood, so we're not flawless on this one. Dupree, though, just going to go straight out. This is the quick hit towards upper, and Edward has no chance. Completely blind, but simple. Eyes wide open, can only find one, and it's Glaive and Dupree to dominate the upper side. Device reading them like a book. Seized backed away. This is beautiful CS from Astralis, and so far it's looking almost flawless.
Yeah, that's disgusting. You almost have to feel for Na'Vi on that change of pace from Astralis. Edward was just ate a flashbang and can do nothing, and you can see they're taking so much damage. They're not even getting close to retaking these bomb sites, and even KRB, he's there to cut off the fallback. Seized and Guardian can have nothing into the next round. 10-1, Astralis putting on a clinic.
Na'Vi, what do you do? How do you find any way back in? How do you keep your heads held high when you're having to watch this being done to you? It's one of those that it feels like no matter what you do, no matter how you play, Astralis are just going to find their way through. That hit towards upper just was so well done, so perfectly played out. you saw instantly everyone being out of spot, nothing to be done there. Oh, hello, that's a little something. That's maybe a start that they need. Guardian finding a little bit of flair, but flair doesn't necessarily win you rounds at this point. And you can see the pinch now from Na'Vi across the map, trying to get guns away, trying to do some, well, I say damage, just anything here, and Zivnix is having none of it. Yeah, no, he's just playing stellar. Not making very many mistakes whatsoever with his positioning, with his movement, so he's just a god at the moment. And Na'Vi, I mean, it just... On top of all that, you add in the tactical outplays. This is Astralis at their finest. 11-1 now. This is the Astralis side we've been waiting to see come alive here in these tournaments. So many times they've had absolute heartbreak at events like this. So close yet so far. They've had so many opportunities to go on those deep runs. Everyone looked at them. Oh, they look good in groups a couple of times. They got to the main stage and it fell apart. Yeah, but I mean, you look at who's been knocked out of this event, and you look at the side of the bracket that Astralis is on. Winning this, they'll be playing up against Heroic. I mean, they've just got to feel supremely confident, despite that being a regional matchup. You know they're looking at it and they're just saying, this is our tournament to lose. And that confidence has got him out to a big lead here. Na'Vi, again, I mean, one more time, if they want any kind of... Oh, this is interesting. Oh, that is God. Just... That timing Guardian is going to be so frustrated. How does that happen? Everything going right, and now Kirby is going to have a big flank. Yeah, Zip's just walking out, you know he can. Look at this. He's just so confident at doing this sort of play. You're down to a 3v3, but you still feel that Astralis with players like this, in spots like this, have so much control here. He's just never... Kirby's never been stopped when he's done this. And this is probably the second or third time he's going to find success with it. And Simple, he does spot it out at the end, but he loses the initial duel, and that puts him in a really difficult spot where he almost has to get aggressive. And now backing away might not be an option. He's surrounded on all fronts. His friend Flamey isn't that close by either. And here you go, the noose is just being placed around Na'Vi's neck as we speak. And with Flamey going down, Astralis look near on flawless in this matchup. Yeah, and frustration from Flamey there as well, just because, I mean, you can kind of see it in his movement. He's trying to find a way to help Simple. He's trying to find a way to find that player in heaven to alleviate the pressure from that side, from Simple's flank, and he just can't do it. If you go up the ladder, you're at a massive disadvantage. If you go all the way back, you're just too far away to get back into the round. So no real winning scenario that round for from Flamey, excuse me. And the thing is, everyone on Astralis is playing well. No one's having a down game. No one's having a quiet performance. Everyone's doing exactly what they require. Na'Vi throwing themselves at Astralis here. There's only so many options you have, and Guardian's still fighting the good fight for them, but it's not enough. It's as simple as that. Flamey, can you dig any deeper? Can you get any small margin of help towards this half? There it is, that's a shot and a half though, but with two more players coming through by Squeaky, it's a solid no. And Na'Vi, you just want any buffer going into that second half. You need everything you can, and look at this buy. Yeah, this is ugly as it's coming down to it, but they just have to. One round, this is, I mean, yeah. This is when you almost wish there was some kind of a mercy rule. A safe word, perhaps. Release me. Release me and let me go. We might be hearing from Na'Vi pretty soon at 13-1. This is a bit of a, let's say, a shout out to all the other teams. Astralis are here and they mean business. They look so damn serious on this stage right now. They won the map. The Na'Vi, if they'd picked up, we could have seen a competitive match throughout this. Maybe the third map could have come in, but so far this is not the case. It's a 13-1. Astralis have the first map in the pocket. Well, Na'Vi looking for anything here, looking to get that last round on the board would be lovely, maybe give themselves a tiny chance, but Astralis just don't care. Look at it, Kirby through smoke, finds the shot, just flashed up as well. Why not add more things to this? Flamey's doing everything he can, and he is fighting so hard, but sometimes your best just isn't good enough. Yeah, one other thing Astralis has done great in this half is really exploiting that door, the squeaky door, blowing it open. Sometimes they've had Device there with the AWP. Sometimes it's been Dupree lurking out and getting into vents. We've seen that a couple times, but I mean, they found a couple picks from that avenue. And even, you could see this previous round, it was Device and Guardian having a small duel outside, flushed right back into the squeaky door pressure where Guardian's picked off. So Astralis eventually grouping up in the mid-round, as we've seen so many times, heading towards ramp room, getting the kill. Now they have control of lower, and again, you just have to say the only way back into this round for Na'Vi is a big play from Simple. He gets one kill, and actually Device misses a shot. Now it's the promise of Edward. He's got the advantage in the spam battle, but he doesn't find the kill. And there it is, Glaive shutting him down. And Simple in such an awkward spot. Now just with the USP, and he can do nothing. Device and Glaive both brought low, but a 14-1 scoreline on the T side of Nuke effectively just ends this. Astralis are the executioners. And Na'Vi's head is on the block right now. One round to work with. I don't know what to say about this one. What can you say about this one? We'll have to see what Na'Vi's going to have after the break. An absolutely flawless second map for Astralis. 14-1 is a huge scoreline in this map. Na'Vi are shattered. They are in shambles. They have so little to work with. They can dig as deep as they want, but this is truly a mountain to climb.
This would be a collapse of epic proportions if it happened. It would have to be worse than anything we've seen from this lineup in the past. And I mean, recently the talk has been all about the increased mentality of Astralis, how they're some of the best. You just don't see it happening, especially with how dominant they just were in that first half. And then you add in the fact they've been strong on pistol rounds in this event as well. And this could be very, very quick going into the second half. So pistol rounds out again, mostly armor seized as Raid Boss, and he's gonna lead the way through door. Opening it up, there's Dupree, he's not ready for it. Good headshot from Seized, but there's still 2 more to contend with. Kirby in the site, he's getting wrapped around. He gets both kills though, before he's finally traded off into a 3-on-3.
That was brought back to being incredibly possible, especially with Edward now becoming the next Raid Boss, the next superhero, and keeping eyes on the flank. It's Zipnix round the back, but the bomb's with Edward. And he's waiting, peek-a-boo. There you go, heads go rolling, Glaive goes down, and Zipnix cannot do enough. Edward picks up the mantle where his teammate left off, and he will show them what he can do with the Tech 9, but this is small steps on a mountain again. This is a long road, and it has to be perfect.
Na'Vi chance coming out. Perhaps a bit early, but yeah, this is such a big mountain, and actually, I mean, this would be so Counter-Strike if this buy actually works out for Astralis. 5-7s is CZ and Kirby, Device with the Deagle. We saw the danger that Na'Vi put on in the second round of the first half, and that was one of the few times we saw that danger come out. So there's Guardian with 1 kill, but Glaive is in a tricky spot.
Yeah, he's done this before. It's dismantled so many teams. This aggression is lovely. They've got to check for it. It's something to be noted. He's done this a lot. It's not the first time. Kiebi's kind of watching it as well, so if Edward swings out too wide, he gets in trouble. We'll see how this one pans out. It's only Edward really testing the waters outside. There's still a lot of the rest of the map going on here, and Edward, please, please, check it. No, Glaive strikes. And that's a rifle recovered. That's the hand. That spurs on the rest of Na'Vi, but will they survive?
Oh, this is dangerous up close. There's one shot, Flamey jumping around. He can get the second one. No, he does a lot of damage. Device was there for a distraction. It works for 1 kill. Into a 3-on-3, and Glaive's got an AK, so this is dangerous. 1 smoke for the Na'Vi side for this lower bomb site, and Glaive's in position. Here it is. Here's the rifle. There's a kill for him as well. Simple falls, and there's no one from Na'Vi down there to trade it out. Nothing. Smoke not being used either. Or it is on the bomb site, but that's not helping anything.
Look at the HP. Seized is 25, Guardian's 35. And they've got players lurking around this side. Just about every Seized is trying to find an avenue to find a way back into this round, but time is ticking. Time is of the essence. And with this round in the bag for Astralis, if they get it, they are so damn close. Seized, though, does not want to let this slip. He wants to find a way, but those ways are coming slimmer and slimmer. Kiebi finds Guardian. This could be 15 for Astralis. Seized with everything on his shoulders here. 5 seconds time does not help him here, and it is all done and dusted. Astralis are going to get to that 15th round. Na'Vi have just got to sit back and watch as that trickles through to the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the issue you have with Na'Vi. We just saw a big fundamental problem is in a 3-on-3, going to the lower bomb site. Simple's the only one trying to get towards the site. Not saying that's the right or wrong decision, but the wrong decision is certainly the fact that he's the only one doing it. His teammates are still back on ramp. He gets picked off, no chance at a trade, no chance at progress. And then Guardian and C's split up at the end in that 2-on-3. One trying to go up ladder with the bomb, the other going towards vent. So you just have no teamwork coming out for Na'Vi at this point.
Na'Vi hunting for anything they can. Guardian, you can see him simple, trying to play forward Edward, but with kill by kill and step by step, Astralis know they are on the verge of writing a new stage of history. Device and Dupree are doing it. It's down to Flamey and Simple to try and save Na'Vi, but as it stands, it looks like Astralis are on the verge of going to those semi-finals, and with every piece of HP that falls, Astralis get 1 step closer.
It's got to be just every battle won, and it's not happening. Dupree with another kill out here, and yeah, Simple's the only one left, a 1-on-3 scenario, but this is it. Astralis is going to, more than likely, there's 1 kill from behind. Zipnix down, but they now know his positioning. He's got 50 seconds and the bomb. No HP, no nades to utilize.
But it is simple in this situation.
But it is simple.
Yeah, this situation certainly isn't. but it is simple. 22 HP, a rifle, armor, dupreeh and Kiebi to find. And it's all on his shoulders. He has the weight of Na'Vi's tournament life resting on these next couple of seconds. Kiebi would be the first challenge towards upper. dupreeh down below. And Simple takes a swing. The bullets fly, and there it is! Astralis make their way to the semi-finals. And with this win, have the pen in hand to write the next chapter of their history.
Political, and you can just see that this is why Astralis, this map of Nuke, not even necessarily considered their best, but still a dangerous map. Big outplay from them here. For Na'Vi, I mean, it was a good fight on Mirage, and you just kind of felt coming into the series of the 3 maps that were selected, they had to win Mirage to have a chance in this series to even get to that 3rd map. So Astralis showing everything off the back of Zipnik's performance in map 1, but a team performance on Nuke that just shatters Na'Vi.
And you think ahead for Astralis, opponents now know that Nuke is a no-go. You cannot let that one slip unless you want to be put through that sort of masterclass. Heroic, their eyes are going to be on this one. Heavily watching this game. Na'Vi, your name's not going to be back on the trophy this time. Certainly more in the future, but for the first time ever, we could see Astralis possibly lifting that one if they continue this sort of form. You don't often get to see this sort of play coming out from these boys at this sort of level, but it looks like maybe that consistency element, maybe that factor finally has an answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is now, I mean, they've got everything going for them at the moment. Clutch plays, they've got tactics, they've got the star players as well. So, yeah, we know this is a very dangerous team. And, you know, you look at the other side of the bracket, you know who would love to play them in the finals is their old buddy Kerrigan.
Now that is a tantalizing prospect, isn't it? What an idea that would be. And to be fair to FaZe, their performance has been something that no one predicted. Through practice, through training, through coming here, they only had 3 days with Nico to adjust. They have been grinding since they got to those semifinals. They've got today to practice as well. And they'll be waiting to see who greets them there. So again, this is such an incredible tournament to watch. Who is just coming to the forefront at the moment? We know, for one, Astralis is certainly looking like they're going to the stars, but let's over to the stage to hear what OJ has to say.
Pansy, I'm here with dupreeh. The first map was tough. The second map, I mean, you were on a steamrolling mission there.
Yeah, we knew that haven't played Nuke that much, so we knew that we could actually end up picking either Nuke or Cash, which would go in our favor, so that was really comfortable for us.
That was the same result as the major. You guys are on form at the moment.
Yeah, well, we played really poorly in the group stage, actually, so it's really, actually, we're kind of happy that we didn't go through to the semifinal as seed 1, because then we get another day to play here. We get used to playing in the stage area and in this incredible arena as well. So we get time to build up our game, and it's going so far really good for us.
Well, last time you played in a tournament, he didn't do too well in the group stages. We know what happened then.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, you know, like you can't win everything, and like that's what we also know as we've been working with our sports psychologists about, that we want to be a top 4 contender every time, but you cannot win every time. There's too much competition going here. So right now it's looking pretty good for us, and we're going to face off Heroic against us tomorrow in the semifinals, so yeah.
Looking at 2 of the big teams who fell in the group stages with VP and also SK, do you feel your performance outshines them now? Because making it this far seems to have been a tough trip for everyone.
It's a little bit of both of yes and no. I mean, best of ones can get random. They had a really tough group, but like everyone was like, it actually ended up being, if Heroic won their game, they were going to go through its first seed. If not, they would go in 6th seed and go out of the group. So that's how close the group was. I still believe that SK and VoDs Pro is the 2nd and the 3rd best team in the world, so I don't think that's going to change anything as of right now, and not with the result either. Obviously, it's great for us that we make it through here, and if we can win this one, I think we can determine that we're still the best team in the world, so that will be good for us.
As I was hyping this matchup, I said, you know, 2 teams that still have something to prove, mainly because in CS, you always have something to prove. Is that true? Do you still feel like you've got something to prove?
We always want to prove something. We always want to prove that we're the best team in the world. We want to prove that we play better than all the other teams. That's why we're here, and that's why we love playing Counter-Strike. If we would just go home and just relax, not work on anything, the best feeling is to get home from events, and even though you won, you still know there's stuff to work on, so that's the main thing for us.
The mark of an amazing team right there. So Heroic in the semi-finals, talk me through how you see that matchup going.
Well, it's our friends from Denmark. Obviously, they're ranked as the 3rd best team in the world, and I guess they surprised everyone here so far. It's like a talent school. They have so many young players that's really talented and really hungry to play in international stage. And I know I think it's Yugi's first like real international tournament, actually going here and playing in front of this crowd in an arena like this. So it's going to be very interesting for them as well. I think we're going to have a really good match, but I'm definitely confident we're going to win.
With them being your Danish countrymen, knowing how well you've done recently, do you think they want to take you out for more reasons than just progressing through to the final?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like there's always a classic banner back in Denmark. You just saw North going out this time. we love each other, but obviously we still want to see each other lose. We never want really each other to have like the most success. So obviously, it's gonna be fun playing Heroic tomorrow, obviously, and Danish teams against each other is always like a real matchup because we know how each other play, and Glay comes from how like he learned a lot from how Snappy played. So I think it's gonna be a really interesting match to see who's. It's also gonna be a little bit of mind games there.
Thank you very much, Dupree. A fabulous win for you in Astralis. There we go. We have our second semi-final set.